Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Alright, this is update video. Should have some graphics on the screen, do some stuff, update video. Alright, so, let's see, I'll get the helicopter. The train is almost complete. As you can see, I just have one final section of land to fill in. And then the coast, and then I can think about further landscaping, adding the shrubs. So map is, and then what I'm going to do, right, one thing at a time. Then once the shrubs are in, shrubberies, I then need to put more houses. So let me just give you an example. I started over here on this side of the map. I don't know what. Where are we here? Oh, there we go. Ah, wrong one. Of course. There we go. Okay. So bear with me for a moment. We have the lumber mill, right? And then I just made like, I found some houses. I just put some houses sort of around it. So what we'll do is I'll space that out a little bit. And yeah, essentially that's that. Right, so we'll come in here with the garbage truck. There'll be maybe one overhead bin here, right? There's gonna be truck parking and stuff. And then we could have individual bins that sit out front. I'm not sure, right? We can pick up with the arm. I don't know. But basically, that's going to be that, right? So now what I have to do is I have to landscape all the rest of that. That's going to take forever. And then what I'll be doing is making roads. But not regular roads. These are going to be like dirt roads. And then oh, too far. Too far. Is it the top of the hill? I think that's the top of the hill. Right, because we have all this open land that we don't just want to be barren. We want to utilize it. So the best way to utilize it is to give it to the player. And how do we give it to the player? We give it to the player by turning it into infrastructure, something the player could use. There we go. So that way, the player can have, a different way maybe to get up here to get the logs. Maybe not necessarily that, the regular way. You get the idea. You get the idea? Whoa. did it delete my... Really? Grr. Alright, well, I'll have to do that later, because I'll have to do that later. Right, so that's sort of the idea. So there's going to be trails, all over. And then, of course, in those trails, we're going to have houses and other points of interest for the player. There's going to be some really neat stuff. Yeah, so there's going to be hidden, you know, things that the player's going to have to find along the map. I think that'd be cool. Kind of like hidden packages or whatever, right? So you find it, and then I don't know how many there's going to be, maybe 100 or so. And I'll scatter them across the map, kind of like a scavenger hunt. There's going to be a lot of that stuff. So, like I say, we're getting really close. I imagine later on this weekend we'll be ready to start coding the map. I'm really excited. The first thing we're going to start with is the tow truck. Why? That's going to get the player exploring the map. And we're going to need to do a lot. There's a lot that we're going to need to do with that. For example, we'll need to make a map, right? We'll need to help the player navigate. We'll need to get points, right? We'll need to connect to the data store. So basically, that's going to be the beginning of the game. And then what we'll do is we'll expand off of that. We'll expand off of that. Right? It already has the leaderboard script. It already has the data store script. We'll just change the name of it. Or I'll make a new one. I'm not sure. Right, so this is all that's left. Just a few triangles. Well, the coastline. The coastline's going to take a little bit to finish as well. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. This map is massive. It's absolutely massive. A million base plates by a million base plates. It's so incredibly huge. We'll call it the alpha map. Yes. That's actually just because the game will be in alpha state, not. Alright. Dry humor there. Dry programming humor. Okay, so we come across here. We're just making triangles. Watch me make triangles. How exciting is that? You're watching me make triangles, giant triangles. They're so massive and big. All right. Connection to the road is boring because you have to make so many connections. So many connections. Let's see. We'll go a little bit further. And then we'll come down that way. Yeah, so this side is much higher than the other side, as you can see. I just thought that would be a neat contrast. Right, because I mean, this mostly is going to be trees up to about here. I think that'd be cool. And then the only way to get to the upper sections, right? Obviously, it's too steep here. So, in an area like way over there somewhere where it's not so steep, that'll be the access to this whole area here. And I think that'll be neat. So you have to go all the way over here to get access to, you know, like whatever, right? It'll be something like that. You know, there'll be a couple of spots. Lots, but that's what you need. It's a vehicle game. So we need as much infrastructure as we can get for the player. So by creating all the roads that we created, right, we have our main roads. And then we're going to have all these other, I think it'll be neat, right? The secondary road coming through here. You know, it's in the bushes. So you don't really notice it. And then maybe somewhere in here there's a little community, right, that it'll go to. So that is where probably what I'll do is I'll get the game working and I'll upload it at some state, and then I'll make micro updates, and that'll be the micro updates will be all these, adding in all these little communities. Yeah. Then we need to focus on making the map dynamic. So that way things are going on around the player. Which would be really cool. So there is lots coming up on the coding side. So this is really exciting once the infrastructure's in. That means I can safely test the map. That's the exciting part about this. I can safely test the map. I can drive around, you know, safely, right? Because I can be on this side. And all these blank areas, these are going to be communities. In there, here, there, and here. So they'll have their access, again, wherever that's going to be. There'll be a little road somewhere. Where it's not so steep, it'll cut off. All right. It's not bad. If all I have left is coastline, that's pretty good. Let's see, we'll make this come out to maybe there. And then maybe there. Alright. I am racing to get this cleaned up. Not much more. Alrighty. Things are coming along. Let's see what we can do here. From there, it's gonna be a big one. Let's see. We can take that. Move that. All about the triangles. Then I can just tie all this in to the landscape. Which is cool. Ooh, I like it. We could probably come all the way back to here. Nice. Let's see here. Wow, that'll almost do it. I'll just tie the rest of that to the road. That'll do it. Wow. There it is. Fortunately, it's pretty straight here, so I can cover a lot of ground. But when it gets into the windy section, it takes forever. It takes forever. Well, that's pretty cool. Taper that into there. All right. It gives us that unique height. Save that, Maestro. All right. Whoa. All right. So fortunately, I have the nodes on the other side of the road. So I just kind of copy what's there. Now, this is still a very rough map. There are a lot of touch-ups. But we could say with this, the map is testable now. It is testable. So now really all that's left is the coastline. That's it. Ooh, that's nice. All right. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool map. Wow, that took forever. I can't believe it's almost complete. Oh, that's tall. I like that. Yeah, so there's going to be trees everywhere now. Like I say, a road, you know, will take us up to a community here. And likewise on this side as well. So there's going to be lots of things to do. Lots of areas to drive around and explore on the map. See what this thing is over here. Holy, this map is huge. Wow, that's that tree. Wow, it was rendered from all the way over there. Oh, now it's gone. Alright, so this is the city. So we need a helicopter pad and a few other things. Right, so on the building, maybe we'll have a hidden package somewhere where you know, you can get out, come over here, and we can activate a prompt. Get a reward. There's going to be lots of, this thing's huge, there's going to be lots of stuff coming up. I still need to add like a hospital and fire department. We'll need those things. It's a vehicle game. So that'll be coming up as well. Oh, it's raining. Storming. We'll go over to the lumber mill. Right, so I mean that is almost it. The base map is almost complete. Almost complete. Pretty smooth. Alright. That is going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Again, we are almost finished. And then when we are, we will start to add code, hopefully by the end of the weekend. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. What's left is just the coast. Of course, this will need to be widened as well, and I'll be doing that in updates. I just want to get the map to a point where we can drive around and we can test it, and then I can be adding communities. Right? There'd be a community here, you know, something like that. Maybe here. I think it'd be pretty cool. There'd be a farm here somewhere. Yeah. Right on. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later on.